Welcome to the 5 PMers, are for the fans coverage of
What up?
Big Brother 26. What up, CJ?
On the
5
road.
PMers. 5
What's up?
PMers here. CJ is on the road. Where are you coming to us
I'm
from?
actually I am in Connecticut, so I'm an 8 PMer right now.
Oh, you're an 8 PM right now. This is you're the East Coaster. East
Yeah.
Coaster instead of a West Coaster today. You at Mohegan Sun?
No, I'm at Foxwoods.
Because that's the only one I know because of the Connecticut Sun.
Yeah, I had never heard of it, and then I get here and the casino's like 3 miles long. It's stupid.
Ah, that's pretty big.
Yeah.
But CJ, we're here. 5 p.m. We're here once again to go through the whole week, actually as a whole, with Survivor starting up this week. Kylie and Sheldon will be taking care of. Um, Sheldon and Kylie will be taking care of Survivor coverage. So in the meantime, you'll have us, the 5 PMers, to go through everything that's happened as a whole. Of course, jump in the chat and have a chat with us. We got Tasha here. Tasha, what is going on? Good to see you. Good to see you like always. So, CJ, we're going to talk about the whole week. We're going to go kind of fast because right after this, Kylie's jumping into Kylie, Sheldon, and Robbie will be there. Maybe I'll be there. I don't know. I haven't decided. They'll be doing Survivor, the Survivor cast review.
Figured out
I've
in an
seen
hour or
nothing.
so.
I've seen nothing, by the way. I've looked at nothing, so I have no idea anyone that's going on Survivor. So we'll see what happens.
I've
But
seen nothing. I've been on a plane since 3 a.m. this morning. I didn't even know the cast assessment came out.
it came out like a week and a half ago. We've
Yeah.
just been out. We've been deep in the Big Brother. We've been
Yep.
deep in Big Brother, in these trenches, these BB streets. So let's just jump into it because I want to talk about CJ, my girl Chelsea's HOH. I want to talk about my girl HOH. What did you
What do
think
you
of
want to talk
her?
about?
Well, okay, so Chelsea, at least we talked about last week. She kind of told Angela it is what it is, and she put up Quinn. Now, I don't know if Quinn was the best option for her to put up and send home.
No, not at all. So I understand Chelsea's like thought process. We want to get out a bigger threat, yada yada yada. My problem with sending Quinn home, and Quinn addressed this to her, is you have a solid 3 in the house.
Mm-hmm.
And as the numbers go down, that solid 3 becomes a bigger portion of the votes and they become harder and harder to break up. So why not use me as a shield, and as well as go after, like, allow me to go after them, because they're not coming after you anyway.
So that's what's interesting is that I disagree with the move for a separate reason, actually. Um, I thought she should have always been focused on Leah over Quinn because Quinn wanted to work with Chelsea. Leah has made it a point that Chelsea is someone she considers not an ally. So, since that's the case, I would be much more inclined to get rid of her as opposed to Quinn. And I know one of her trepidations about doing it was whether Cam would go along with the vote as necessary, right?
Yeah.
Because Mackenzie is probably not voting her out. Angela's definitely not voting Leah
Correct.
out. But with Cam doing, and I would have positioned this to Cam and said, "Look, you told me that you wouldn't pick this girl over me. Well, you told me also that she is a immediate threat to my game. So with my power now, I need to take her out. I know Quinn and um, Angela are probably going to vote for her to stay. I also know Mackenzie will probably vote for her to stay. If you vote with Rubina and T-Core, I will break the tie and send her ass on. But I
It,
need you today, Cam."
and you're not wrong, because the way that the house was last week is you had 3 trios. You had the very loose trio of Angela, Quinn, and Leah, where Quinn is working with Leah, Leah's working with Quinn, Leah's working with Angela. So they're a voting block because As long as Leah's in the house, Quinn and Angela will be voting the same way. Then you have the trio of Cam, Chelsea, and Mackenzie, which is really a 2+1, it looks like right now. But who really knows? Then you have a tight 3. And I get why Chelsea doesn't want to get the blood on her hands herself, but you need to break up that tight 3.
And the 3, she doesn't need to break up the tight 3, personally, in my opinion, because
someone does.
Someone does. Bingo, bango. Can't be her. But they are loyal to her through T-Core, right? And so I would have probably legitimately what I would have done is I would have put Leah up, and then I would have brought Cam into a room with T-Core, and T-Core as a representative of her trio, and said, "Look, Cam, I need you to vote with them, please, because Leah's coming for me personally. She's not coming for you, but she's coming for me. And you're telling me that the 3 of us are like looking out for each other. If you don't vote with me right now, you're not looking out for me." Having T-Core in the room will then also allow them to offer a similar protection to Cam for the next vote or two and make him feel a little bit safe about doing this move.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because she couldn't put up, she had chemo already up. Mackenzie's using it on Angela. That is what it is. You can't change that. But doing that over Quinn, I would have done that. And I also pulled Quinn to the side and said, "So I know you want to do the 5, but your girlie, she's been saying bad shit about you. I know she don't really trust me. And I'm afraid of her coming for me. I'm going to be real with you. I trust you, Quinn, but I don't trust your girlie. That's why I put her up."
But she doesn't trust Quinn either.
She did, though. That's the hard part, is that Quinn already flipped on him once, but he got shocked when Cedric went home, right? Because he didn't never really flipped. He
That's
was
the thing.
shocked when Cedric went home.
Quinn never flipped. Quinn was just passing information along to what he thought his final 3 was, and then was surprised that Chemo was leaking information to Tucker. And then after he found out Chemo was leaking information to Tucker,
Chemo and Joseph.
But specifically, I'm singling out Chemo here because after he found out Chemo leaked that information, he went and told him more information.
Yeah.
Like, once you found out you can't trust the dude, why are you still
trusting? If there's a hole in the bucket, you can't use the bucket.
Exactly.
It's that simple. And so you're right. He continued to use the bucket even though there was a hole in the bucket, and then all the stuff still continued to leak out. And that's what leads me to jump into it, because I know we're going a little quick. That leads me to Quinn's eviction, right? Yes. Because Quinn goes up, and if he goes up, he has to go home. That's kind of like how I feel about backdoors. If I've backdoored somebody, you have to send them out.
You've already burned the bridge, so they got to go.
I've already burned it, scorched it, what have you. It's already an issue. Now, I don't know if you saw this, CJ. She told Leah she was an option to go up also.
Yeah.
Mistake.
Yes. You're destroying the relationship when you even hint that you're thinking about putting them up. I don't care if you're telling them they're a pawn or not. As soon as you say, hey, you might go up, unless it's Final Four where it's just like, I can only save one of you. You've already burned that bridge.
Like by saying, hey, baby, you're an option, that stops you from being an option in their game. You know what I'm saying? At least for right now. And so I thought if Quinn's up, Quinn has to go. Now, as we just talked about for the last 5 minutes, Quinn shouldn't have been.
No.
It should have been her. But there was points where Chelsea was like, I wouldn't mind if Quinn stayed. And I was like, that's not good, because Quinn's not going to forget that you put him up.
If you wanted Quinn to stay, you never should have put Quinn up in the first place. You should have just put Leah up. And I don't understand. I know they edited it to look like Chelsea was influenced by what Angela said when they were always talking about doing this anyway. But like, why would you ever listen to anything Angela says? Because Angela's a loose cannon.
Well, that's what happened. So in reality, what happened was Angela wakes up, she gives her all that information like she did in the show. Um, Chelsea takes the information, goes to Mackenzie and cross references it, and they're like, I don't really know if this is real. Let's go talk to Rubina. Talk to Rubina. Talk to Chemo. They're both like, no, we didn't talk about doing nothing like that. But at that point, the wheels were turning.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, well, we're gonna put one of them up. We're gonna put somebody up there. And so then that's how it got to Quinn. Because as Tasha says there in the chat, Tasha, she says she was doing it for Cam and MJ. Because Cam and MJ were like, if we take care of Quinn, then we will be able to control the cops. And it's like, yes,
but this is like goes back to what I was talking about last week about if I'm Cam, I need another dude in the house because as the dudes dwindle, the women could just look around and be like, hey, we've been talking about making history in this house. Let's get an all-female final six just because it's never been done. And this is what, like, I need more dudes in the house. And it's like, I may not necessarily want to work with Chemo. I may not necessarily want to work with Quinn. But I need them there so that I'm not an easy vote. And that's what it is. So I don't understand why.
Though,
I don't understand why Quinn going home is good for Cam's game.
Because Quinn wasn't necessarily close to him. So they thought they would be able to beast out the physical comps. And, like, it's not their fault, CJ. I'm going to be real with you. If you watched last season, you saw Jag beast up the comps. If you watched the season before, you watched Monty and Michael dominate the comps.
Yep.
If you watched the season before that, you watched X and Kylan do well in the competitions.
Yes.
So if you've seen even a smidgen of recent history or listen to Kenny's dumbass in the house, you would be like, oh, there's a bunch of physical shit coming up. I'll be able to rock this.
And I agree with that thought process, especially after watching last season, that I would assume that you want to get the physical threats out because the last few seasons has tuned more physical. And you're going to discount the fact that you've had, 2 endurance comps so far?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, 1 endurance comp at this point, and you're expecting another one soon because the only one you've really had was the wall comp.
Right.
But even
you're like, that, oh, we're going to be fine. And the other physical competitor, the 6-foot Amazon woman, she with me.
Yeah. So I mean, like, I understand the logic, but at the same time, I got to get rid of this trio because, as we talked about last week, if even one of them makes the final 2, they already have 2 votes, and you need 4 to win.
Correct. And so it's like, okay, that's why for him, he's like, send Quinn on. Plus, he thought that his alliance, if you will, Chelsea, Mackenzie, they would be good to go with him. Plus, he has like the not semi protection of T-Core. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The not semi protection. Because it's like
T-Core will protect him down to 5, is what it feels like.
Mm-hmm.
T-Core, I don't know if she picks Rubina over Chelsea or not, but I don't think she picks Chelsea over Chemo.
I'm not sure about that. I think she picked Chelsea over Rubina. Maybe not over Chemo because of the representation, but at that point, it's tough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's splitting hairs. What do you think of Quinn's like actual eviction? Like him, the way he walked out. Unfortunately, got to talk to Jerry as opposed to
Julie.
Yeah.
I liked how he went out. He's like, and Jerry asked him, "Why'd you get out so quick?" They voted me out. I don't want to hang out with them. I agree with them. I don't got nothing. Like, we're cool, but I got nothing nice to say to you right now because you just ended my game. And that's the thing. It's like I'm not like mad at you, but I'm mad in this moment. So I'm gonna get up out of here.
and I think he thought he was staying.
I don't know why. If you get backdoored, I'm like, if I get backdoored, I'm fighting like hell to stay, but the writing is on the wall for the reasons we just talked about.
The
And it wasn't a true backdoor because he got to play in the veto, but it functions as one.
Yeah, and that is funny because like by setting him on his way, having him as the foreperson of the jury was great. Tasha says MJ told him.
That was some great editing in the Thursday or the episode where it's like 30 minutes before the veto meeting, and then it's her explaining, and you could see the shock like in his face in that moment, and he's like, I gotta go talk to Chelsea right now. Like, I think it was a great bit of editing by Big Brother showing that.
The thing that I did enjoy, it seemed like Angela and Leah were not privy to what the vote was going to be. Angela going around and being like, Chemo, I want you to stay. It's a little old. You know what I'm saying? It's a little old if you did it 2 weeks in a row.
They showed that in the episode last night.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how did you feel about that from Angela?
Angela is Angela. Angela's going to do Angela things. I do think it's funny, the looks of shock in Angela's face, because it's very obvious that Leah is the only one that gives her even a smidge of information. No one else talks game to her at this point.
Because they're at their wits' end with her,
and yet she's still there.
I don't think that she's too long for this world, to be honest with you. Because even though, as we talk about our third topic here, Leah's HOH win, even though Leah is catching you guys up to speed right now, Leah is the current HOH, and she puts up Chemo and Rubina, and we're gonna get to how we got there. Angela is safe during
Leah's reign. Angela's safe if Leah has power because Leah wants to sit next to Angela. Like, it's been established.
Yeah. So outside of this, though, because unless Angela wins HOH, I don't see Leah and Angela not being targets going forward. Like, I think the next targets.
I think Leah and Angela will be targets of quote unquote the three, which is what they're calling the Chemo, Rubina, T-Court triangle. I don't think they're targets for Chelsea. I don't think that Leah is a target for Cam. I take that back. They are a target for Chelsea because Chelsea can't take a shot at the other three. I don't think Leah is a target for Cam. I don't think Leah is a target for Mackenzie.
So I don't think Leah is. I think Angela is, right? Because you're breaking up the three by going into this because okay, let's talk about this because the HOH competition itself, they find out that the robot is janky, right? The janky junior assistant neurokinetic something IE.
Information entity or whatever.
There we go. That's janky. That is the backup for Ainsley while she goes and travels the world. Janky gives him a carnival. Janky puts him outside. Janky closes the locks the doors and puts them in the carnival from hell.
So mad on their behalf.
In the moment they're out there, they find out they're doing a pizza party. Doing a pizza party, ice cream. The way they set it up was perfect though. Like, who likes pizza? Who likes ice cream? Who likes games? Go outside. Here's a carnival. You will never leave. That's what it ended up being.
Like, obviously we watch the feeds, we read up on what's going on. When me and the wife were watching last night and she saw it, she was like, I'd self-evict. I'm done. I'm out. Like,
You can't because you've come this far. You've come this far. And so, like,
send me to jury. I'm not living outside for a week. That was her sentiment.
we're going to talk about Dire Fest 2.0 in a minute. But during the HOH competition, it was a doozy where you had to hold a marshmallow thing against just it's a classic competition. You're holding it something against something for however long you can. They went 10 hours.
And it was, although it's not the pressure cooker, it's very similar. And I think this is a little more difficult.
This was not on feeds, by the way. This should have been on feeds.
It should have been on feeds.
But it was not on the feeds, which was wild. Now,
I think
in the chat,
reason it wasn't on feeds is because they did the carnival and they wanted to hide the carnival theme.
Maybe, but then they put the feeds on Friday afternoonish. So I thought the same thing at first, but maybe there was a bunch of technical stuff when they were getting out there in place for the carnival.
Possibly.
But Tasha said, what do we think about Cam standing on one leg? I did not like the fact that Cam offered to put himself in a more difficult situation. I hope that producers or somebody was like, in this.
I think whether producer intervention or not happened, I think it was he felt safe with Leah, so he was willing to do it.
You just said your alliance isn't safe, though. Like, Chelsea's not safe.
Yeah, but there's 8 of you now, so we all know Cam doesn't give a damn. Cam cares about Cam.
Yeah, I think Cam cares about Cam. Because he wasn't thinking about the squad. Because if the squad's not safe, I need to be HOH.
Yes.
Right? But if I'm not doing that, then who knows what can happen. But you're putting yourself in a situation here where anything can happen.
Yes.
Tasha was so annoyed with that situation, so was I. Because this was not, unless, like I said, producers made you do it. It doesn't make sense to me.
I'm leaning towards producers made them do it. But I will also say, when Angela was talking about how she got the 2 HOH letters, she was still good, but she felt like either of them deserved the win, so she dropped. I kind of believed her because she was looking real strong when she dropped.
Yeah. I think so too. And I don't know why they wanted to end it so quickly after we got to that point, right? Unless the producers are like, we're approaching 10 hours. This needs to end soon. So Angela then respectfully drops out. And then the two of them immediately start talking about a way for this to end.
I wonder if they said do the 1 foot balancing thing, and Angela was like, "Fuck that," and just dropped.
Possibly. That's a strong possibility because 10 hours is a long time. We had gone into the morning. Maybe they didn't plan for it to go that long. Though those make amazing competitions.
But like, I have terrible balance. Even if I felt safe, I'm not agreeing to do.
I'm not suggesting nor agreeing to do that.
Yeah. Let's stand on 1 foot. How about we stand on 2 feet and continue doing what we're doing? How about that?
We've gotten this far doing this. Let's keep it up.
Yeah.
So when Leah was HOH, I was terrified because, as you know, we're Chelsea Stand podcast over here, and she had just talked with Angela about putting up Chelsea and T-Core, and I was like, that is bad news for us.
It's bad news for us, but that is the best thing Chelsea could do for her game.
Or I don't know. T-Core needs to go.
But I'm saying, Leah putting up Chelsea and T-Core next to each other is the best thing Leah could do for her game.
Correct.
And then she just goes to the other people and says, if you pull down the person from your trio with the veto, I'm putting up the other person in your trio. One of y'all trios is losing somebody this week because I just lost Quinn and I have Angela in my pocket.
But instead, she said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pick a trio and I'm going to lean into that.
Yeah.
And so she looked into it and said, you know what? I'm picking the Mackenzie, Cam, Chelsea trio. And I was like, thank you. Because if you're picking that trio, that means you're keeping her safe, Chelsea. Yeah. So She opts to put up Rabina and Chemo. Now, I don't know why she didn't go for T-Core to begin with. Especially because you could say you're the only one that has to be on the block at that point.
Yep.
But her and Angela decide that it's probably best to put them in there. Now, I need to state with Direfest 2.0, it's really hard to talk game because everybody's just out there.
There's nowhere to go and have a secret conversation. And
Right.
we saw it in the episode when Leah had her one-on-one with Mackenzie. It was behind the wall by the door back into the house. And then when she had her one-on-one with Chelsea, she had to take her to the balcony. The thing is there's nowhere to hide to have these one-on-ones. So like when she's having her one-on-one with Chelsea, it's in front of everyone. When
Everyone
she's
sees
having the one-on-one with Mackenzie, they've obviously snuck off because we can't see them. And there's nowhere to hide out here.
And I think it was like when they were changing, it just happened. Like it was quick.
Yeah, exactly.
So they end up with Rabina and Chemo Noms. Fine. Right? You decided to go after this group. We're not going to get Angela out of here. I know you're going to break another computer. You're probably going to buy one in when you're out of town. But it's another week that Angela is going to escape.
So here's the thing. I only really break computers when someone uses the veto on Angela because it doesn't make sense. They've used it on her 3 times. I've gone through 3 computers.
Got it. Not just when she's next week's another week.
Like if she's safe because whatever happens. It's when someone goes out of their way to save her because the order of operations is Angela ends up on the block. Someone saves Angela. Angela thanks them. Angela throws them under the bus.
Wash, rinse, repeat.
Yes. The same way that she's like, I just wanted to be on the right side of the votes. I never wanted you to leave, Chemo. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. We've now been fooled 3 times.
Well,
get rid of her.
That leads us to our final point of the night, which is Direfest 2.0. Now, for those that remember Direfest during BB 25,
24?
24? Are we in 26 right now? So yeah, so BB 24.
24.
It got split into 2. Our guy Joseph got put outside with Kyle and Shitty Terrence and his girlfriend and Kyle's girlfriend Alyssa. Inside the house was Michael, Brittany, Taylor, and Monty. And Jack.
And one more on each side, but whatever.
Jasmine and Turner. Turner outside, Jasmine inside.
Yeah.
They had to live outside. They had to figure out that was pretty good from memory, by the way. They had to live outside and do all the shit. Everything had to be done outside while the other ones had to live the life of luxury inside. Brochella inside. Direfest was tough for everyone. Fans and players alike.
It was. I mean, like, I haven't seen every season. I've seen a lot of seasons. I think it might be the worst twist they've ever done.
So they said, let's reload it and put everybody else.
And the reason I say it's the worst, I think it's the worst twist they ever done, is because for what we just talked about, there's no gameplay.
And that's what happened here.
And not only is there, like, put aside the fact that there's no gameplay because you can't really have whisper conversations when everyone is close to each other.
Mm-hmm.
They just look miserable. They're not sleeping because the Big Brother house is in the flight path of LAX, which means there's planes all the time. There's not a whole lot of shade. There's nowhere comfortable to sit or sleep because all they got is cots. It's hot in Southern California and LA right now. So you know
it's a heat wave. It's a heat wave. So
and then add in the fact all they can eat is frozen pizzas and ice cream. So you know their stomachs are fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm just not happy.
And since they're not happy, people are literally just laying around doing nothing.
Yeah.
Because they have it's hard. And since the feeds aren't good, Leah's HOH hasn't been good. This is one twist that I wish they didn't bring back.
I think they're going to look at the engagement here and they're going to say, let's run it back next year. And I don't know why.
I don't think they will. I think they might look at it and say, okay, so there was no movement. Like the season's been so good. People have been talking about how good the season is, and then
Yep.
this week they're like, this week's a miss. This week's a miss because of everything going on. So I think they're
And
like, okay, cut it.
and we talk about, like, this is one thing that we talk about, you and I talk about a lot. I don't know if we've talked about it on the podcast, but the seasons that are boring, it's because there's excellent gameplay, because there's a couple people in control and they just pick people off one by one, and the person that goes home is usually surprised, and it is what it is. This
Mhm.
season has been thrilling because there's been no solid alliance. It's been a lot of people like mustering the votes to take out a single person, and then everyone reorganizes the next week. So there's been blindsides, the wild saves of Angela to take out other people. Like, although I have been upset with the gameplay itself, it has been a very exciting season. And
Right.
this week has definitely been the most boring week of the season because there's nothing to do because they're all miserable.
It's just straight put a damper on it. So I hope we never see this again. Um, the gameplay has been bad. The feeds are bad because the sound's bad too, because they're right over the airplanes are flying by. They're literally laying around. Um, they're very like it has made people a little more agitated with each other, which we'll talk about in spoilers real quick.
Yeah.
But outside of that, it's been really blasé.
One last thing I want to talk about with Direfest 2.0. You notice that Chemo, Rubina, Chelsea, they're looking a little tan. They were looking a little tan in their diary rooms, and that's just
Yeah,
from Thursday to Friday.
because they're getting a lot of sun. They're getting a lot
Yeah.
of sun.
But just from
Leah's
Thursday
got
to Friday, they were looking a little tan. So imagine what they're going to be looking like at the end of the week.
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be real tough. They have to stay inside for a little bit. I think I would never want to see the outside again.
I don't want to go outside right now.
CJ, let's lightning fast go through this. Let me hear your ranking. Least likely to win, most likely to win. Fire them off.
Least likely to win right now, I still got Angela bottom.
Same.
Um, After that, I have Leah because I don't think anybody takes her to final two.
And also, I don't think anyone votes for her.
So I don't think anyone votes for her. After that, I'm going to go with Cam. I don't think that he's going to make it to final two. And if he
I have
were,
Rubina here now. I have
so I have,
Rubina at this spot right
I
here
have,
because though Cam, I think, may not make it to final two, I think Rubina is not long for this world.
so I have Rubina next.
Okay.
For similar reasons. I don't think she's long for this world. After Rubina, I have Chemo.
Okay.
I don't think if Chemo somehow makes it to the final two, I think he beats everyone but T-Core and Chelsea.
Okay.
But I don't see how he gets there. After that, I have Mackenzie. And it's not that I think Mackenzie would beat Chemo, as I just said. I think Mackenzie just has a better shot of getting there, which is why I have her third. Chelsea, I think, beats everyone, so I have her second, except T-Core, who I have first. And the only reason I think Chelsea doesn't beat T-Core is because she has 2 votes in jury already.
So for me, it is Angela, Leah, Rubina, Cam, Mackenzie, T-Core, Chemo, Chelsea. And I say that
Chemo
because I think it's probably going to be with the spoilers in a minute, but also it's because I think T-Core is now on people's radar.
Yes.
And so there's going to be too many people coming for T-Core's neck, which is going to let Chemo slip through.
And one of the things I want to talk about before we go to spoilers, because this was in the episode, but they didn't get into it, was Rubina was the only one of the trio that actually talked to Leah before Noms. Chemo didn't talk to her because he knew he was going up anyway.
T-Core did talk to her, but T-Core tried to get Chemo to go talk to her, and he didn't.
Yeah.
You know how they do everything. Like they're putting enough time.
T-Core talked
to be fair, I think the competition ended like at 8 a.m. And then they like slept for like a couple hours, and then outside the best they could, and then she did a couple 101s, and then they the noms at like 5 p.m., 6 p.m.
I'll say the noms looked like they were in the evening based on the light.
Yeah. If you were coming to see Survivor, come on back in about 10 minutes. So I think that's when they're going to be going. If you're just joining us and are just trying to not hear about spoilers, thank you for joining us. We're getting into spoilers right now. You got about 10 seconds to get out of here. Catch me and CJ back here for the 5 p.m.ers on Monday as we break down everything that happened this week, the rest of Leah's HOH, the eviction, and the new HOH and what happened over the weekend. If you're doing that, come back, check out the 5 p.m.ers. We're the only ones doing Big Brother coverage now for the fans for the rest of the season. If you want to hear what happened to spoilers, stick around. You got to get about 5 more seconds, and then we're going to get into it. CJ hit it.
Man, I thought they'd never leave.
That's right, CJ. So, CJ, let me tell you what's crazy. Leah's HOH. They have Chemo and Rabina on the block, right? She talked about putting up Chelsea and T-Core. Do you know who loved that idea?
Probably not Chelsea and T-Core.
Not them, but the producers love that idea. So you know what the producers did when she put up Rabina and Chemo?
She put up 2 vetoes.
They gave him 2 vetoes, brother. They gave him 2 vetoes in this next competition. So the veto players were Rabina, Chemo, Leah, Angela was selected, Chelsea was selected, and Mackenzie and T-Core was selected to play in the competition. It was a puzzle. Tucker loves puzzles. So does Angela. Angela won the veto. Then there was a second veto called the janky veto. Not exactly sure how that works, but the assumption is that there's a second veto option.
So
do you know why they do that?
From what I've read online, the way that the janky veto works is that the janky veto holder will get to choose whether they want to use it. If they decide to use it, they play a game, and the result of the game is 50-50, and then whatever the result goes, that's who gets the veto played on them. So they don't actually get to choose who they're using it on. And they have to use the janky veto before the golden power of veto is used.
So that's so that way they get everything they want, right? Because they're like, we want Chelsea and T-Core on the block for more chaos. So that's what all the show cares about.
Yeah.
Right? It's chaos. You know who doesn't know how chaos works? Leah. Leah and Angela. So after having conversations, Angela says to Chemo's like, listen, I want to be good for your game, blah, blah. She's like, shh, sweet boy. I'm using the veto on you. Don't be mad at me.
I mean, Angela keeps saying she doesn't want him to go home. This is her chance to prove it.
Correct. So she is going to use the veto on Chemo. She had not talked to Leah before she told him this, but that's what she's going to do. So, since that's what she's doing, she talks to Leah. You know what Leah said?
What?
Sounds good. If you do that, I won't use the janky veto, and we'll put up T-Core.
Nice.
So the plan is to put up T-Core. The plan is to put up T-Core, and Chemo's going to come down. So T-Core and Rubino will be on the block, but it gets better, CJ. At the moment, they're putting up T-Core, and they don't even expect T-Core to go home.
Well, then why put her up?
So the plan is for T-Core to sit next to Rabina, and they think T-Core is going to stay. Now, remember, last week, Chelsea was saying to Mackenzie, T-Core got to get up out of here.
Yes.
My expectation of the votes will be Cam, Angela, and
Mackenzie.
Mackenzie. No, Cam, Angela, and Mackenzie will vote out T-Core. Chelsea and Chemo will vote out Rabina.
But Cam says that he's working with T-Core. Why vote her out now?
Because T-Court has the best chance of winning this game.
Yes. Because she's such a good person. Such a good person. I'm never getting over
Exactly.
that.
Exactly. So since that's the expectation, I think that it's still going to get flipped on its head, and there's a chance that T-Core goes home this week. If T-Core does go home this week, I think Chelsea needs to go and scoop up Rubina and Chemo. She kind of has Cam and McKenzie. I'm getting to that in a minute.
Yeah.
She could be their new leader.
Is T-Core their leader, or are they a Democratic 3?
T-Core's their leader. Rubina
yeah,
told her, we know we're playing shields for you. And T-Core's like, no. She's like, no, it's cool. We're cool with it. Like, we love you so much. You're such a good person. And we love you so much.
I don't understand why they're willing to throw away their game for her.
Listen, talking about throwing away a game for a person, let me get to what Tasha's asking about Cot Gates. You heard about this, CJ?
Nah, I've been traveling.
So last night, your boy Cam was getting all cuddly with Mackenzie. They had all the cots in a little area. They thought that Chelsea was asleep.
Uh-oh.
So they got all cuddly.
Uh-oh.
Chelsea wasn't asleep.
Uh-oh.
So she gets up and she moves to the other side of the fucking backyard. I swear. Moves to the other side of the backyard. T-Core goes over there and is like, what's going on? He's like, he's playing in my fucking face. I'm just tired of this dude. He's an asshole. Now remember, CJ, they're in the backyard.
So were they just cuddling?
Hold on. He's an asshole. He says, what am I an asshole for? He on the other side of the backyard. I don't want to talk about it.
You obviously did.
What I do? Don't talk to me, Cam. I moved away from you. So now they're fighting across the backyard. And he's like, I didn't even do anything. But I'm an asshole. Like, apparently I'm an asshole. And because they're all in the same backyard, like we just talked about in Dire Fest, right. Everybody hears everything.
Yes.
So they're shouting. Like, they had a whole blow up. So now, let's be real, Leah really not putting them up because there's no need. They fighting amongst themselves.
Let them take each other out.
Now, Brooklyn said that she heard from Chelsea that they were going to figure something out outside the house, but they didn't want to like be patting no targets and do nothing inside the house. You know, Chelsea's a good Christian girl. She doesn't want to be on TV up under this dude. I understand that.
Yeah, makes sense.
If they had that conversation, though, if they had that conversation, this makes sense why she's like so mad about this dude cuddling with these other girls. If you told me we gonna do something, we gonna be something when we get up out of here.
Yes, but was he actually doing something?
They were cuddling. That was it. But she and I just had a conversation with him last week.
That's true.
And no, is he doing something like egregiously wrong? No. You know, single man doing whatever he wants to do. But if they had a conversation and she's thinking, okay, we're gonna date or whatever, this football player, her basketball player, they're just gonna figure out what's up afterwards. This is not really endearing her to that.
If you have an understanding, I understand why you're upset about it, but it's at the end of the day, y'all like don't have anything right now. And like he's cuddling, which you can take it as an affront, but it's not like I guess it's how do you view cuddling? Like, is Correct. It an intimate thing? Is it a comfort thing? Is like, where does this lie?
That's a great question. Like, that's legitimately a great question. I have no idea how she feels about it, but I think that's a big part of what these reactions are.
if they had an understanding, I understand why she's upset, but I also understand why Cam feels like he's not doing nothing wrong.
I feel you. It's the truth. I'm with you. It's the truth. I get both sides of it. Tasha said this cuddling's intimate for women.
And I get that, but is it
Yeah.
for Mackenzie?
Well, even if it isn't, it is for Chelsea, which means
Exactly.
she's watching you do this after we've talked about this. Fuck you, dog.
But like, has she spelled it out? Because we all know men are stupid. I'm a man. I'm stupid. You're a man. You're stupid.
She did last week when she sat there and talked to him. She didn't say it directly, but she made it very clear she did not like how he's been. He says, "I don't trust you with these other women because I think you would pick them over me based on the deference you've been paying them."
True, but as I
He
said,
don't
men
get
are
no passes
stupid.
from me, dog.
If she's not,
He don't get no passes from me.
no. I'm
if,
not giving him a
if
pass.
they have
What I'm saying
if
is,
they have the
men are
confidence,
stupid. I'm not giving him a pass
yes.
at all. He's stupid. She addressed it to him, but unless she specifically says to him, "I don't like when you're cuddling with other women. It makes me feel a certain kind of way," he's going to continue to do it because he's stupid. Because he's a man. Because we're all
Now,
stupid.
Jackie in the chat said she feels like, understanding or not, he's single and she doesn't want to cuddle. Now, if she's not cuddling, the hard part, Jackie, is that if she's not doing it for her religious beliefs, and everyone's very aware of her religious beliefs. Apparently, Chelsea's only kissed one dude in her life,
That's wild.
allegedly. If he's aware of all these things, the understanding, you gotta defer to the understanding.
But okay, so like then this is kind of going into the male psyche. For Cam, if he knows that she's only ever kissed one dude in her life, does he want to be that involved with her?
And if he doesn't, don't tell her that. We're gonna figure something out after.
100%.
That is because Cam's a wide receiver at which university?
At Penn State.
At Penn State. He was big man on campus before. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's kissed more than one girl in his life.
Like, if you're a wide receiver at Penn State, you have a legitimate chance of going to the NFL. If you're getting playing time as a wide receiver at Penn State, you are getting looked at to go to the NFL just because of the caliber of opponents that you're playing against. Some NFL scouts have seen you on tape somewhere.
Oh, also the dude has a decent sized TikTok following as well.
Pre-Big Brother?
Yeah. So,
and I mean, I'm not trying to knock on Chelsea because, like, she knows what she wants. She's a good Christian girl. That's like her MO. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with Cam looking for a little bit of comfort in the house, getting some cuddles or whatever. But if you've had that conversation, she's going to feel a certain kind of way about it. Unfortunately, I'm operating for him under the assumption that all dudes are stupid. And unless she specifically spells it out for him, he don't think he did anything wrong.
Right. It's a messy situation. They haven't really talked today. She's dreading talking to him. We'll see what happens after the noms actually go through.
Yes, because we are now 6:25, and as of the time we came on, no noms.
Correct. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Tasha said she didn't spell out. Not well enough. I felt like she did. Tasha feels not. So
no,
not well enough.
You got to tell them 2 + 2 = 4. Like you have to actually say it. You can't be like, what is this and this, and then expect him to count. No, you got to say 2 + 2 = 4.
Well, it's a lot. We'll see what the noms come out. It's going to be fun. CJ, anything else for the season?
If somebody saves Angela one more time, I swear,
We'll be
I might
back
as well get
next
a Best
week.
Buy credit card.
We'll be back next week. Looks like the veto will be used again, so that's always fun. Um, Shout out to all the Cam's dogs at the crib, and coming to y'all from outside of the Big Brother house. Good night.
Peace.